do us a favour, I think, by keeping out of the picture. And it's very much a left-handed start. They're both known for the left-handed punch. But watch for Holmes now. He winds up the right hand. He tries to intimidate opponents with that and clubs it a lot. But it certainly looks painful anyway from the safe side of the ropes. He catches them around the ears with it a lot. Seen Williams against Purcell Davis on the bill when Aguelo fought Aaron Pryor in Las Vegas. He stopped him, so I never really got a good chance to look at him. But a good amateur record, won the World Cup. There's the right hand from Holmes, starting it early in the first. Well, I've been saying for years they've got heavyweights hanging around the gymnasiums in America who could give most fighters a lot of trouble, and I think this is one. He got the nickname The Truth, by the way, when he promised to knock out somebody, and when he did, one of the fans walked out and said, "That Williams, ain't he the truth?" I wouldn't have thought Holmes wants to take this easy, because if he really is going for that record, apart from the fact that he doesn't mind the $2 million he's picking up for this fight, because the old line about boxing being a thing of booty is correct. But Holmes has told me he really would like to go out with the passing of the Rocky Marciano record. Remember, Marciano retired at 33 and didn't start boxing until much later than Holmes. Certainly the opening round, Williams looks a fairly formidable opponent. We've got to see how he takes a shot. He got off the floor against James Quick Tillis, the only time he's been down, and well won. Oh, there's the right hand. He just seemed to brush past the jaw. It's a good opening round. Well, it's a bit early on to judge, but I tell you, he doesn't look too bad, does he, Carl, the truth? And I think Larry Holmes knows it. He's never had much arrogance, Holmes. He knows when he's in with a decent fighter, he's got to treat them with a bit of respect. So the family of Holmes calling out from the ringside there, "Come on, Big Jack," which is his nickname. Williams looking quite pleased with himself at the end of the first round. I can't say I blame him. And he's not bothering to sit between rounds. How long is that going to last? Remember, scheduled for 15.
Working it, working everything. All the tools, Big Jack. Okay, buddy.
Into the second round then. Really at 15-5, 15-12 and a half. Not too much difference in the weight, really. When they get this big, I don't think that matters too much. Carl Williams defeated top Russian during his amateur career, and that more or less stamped his class. He knocked out a Cuban to win the World Cup in the first round, and the Russian that he defeated actually outpointed Terrell Biggs, who went on to win the gold medal in the Los Angeles Olympics. So there's a little bit of amateur form there, but it's whether he can do it without the amateur singlet on. It's a question of staying the course, I would have thought, with Williams. Holmes, an old hand at this. One of the greatest heavyweight fights I've seen, certainly the greatest final round, was when Holmes won the championship against Ken Norton 7 years ago in June. And he said that was when he'd make up his mind about retiring. Switches punches well, Williams, goes for the head a bit and then switches to the body. He's not showing the old champion much respect. They're hurtful punches coming in with these big guys, and Williams is very accurate with it. trying the right hand clubbing again, Holmes. That's the favourite punch. Does a bit of damage with that. Well, he's taken a few liberties with the champions, as they say in the fight game. He's not a bad guy, Williams, at all, really. And I tell you, it's the truth what the fans have been saying about him. He's a good prospect. We should have seen much more of this fellow. Talk about prospect. If things go well for him here, he could actually steal the championship. And you've got plenty of patience, Holmes. You'll try and ride this one out at the start. Come on strong. Punching really with the speed of middleweights. Let's have a look at the replay then in the second round. Throws the right hand over the top, and then Holmes unleashes his right hand. That's his favourite blow. There it is. Didn't quite connect. So he's been cut around the left eye there. Too much grease on there. I would have thought referee Mills Lane would probably have something to say. So the bell then for the start of the fourth. And certainly Williams just forging ahead with a better left-hand punches, just stealing blows a bit with it, and seemingly worrying Holmes. But we've seen him come through these tough spots before. He was down against Ernie Shea, was almost out. Hurt by Ronaldo Snipes in a great fight with Ken Norton. It's all about ambition now, the will to win, and it gets a bit tough when you've got a few million in the bank. There, the chants from the crowd, the truth, the truth. I said they're fairly neutral. They won't have any pity for Holmes at all. They rather like seeing the big guys toppled in the fight game. It's a bit cruel. Some of the Holmes fans countering that with Larry. Holmes having a job really to outthink this fellow, because he gets off fairly fast, and he really is coming tremendously confident. He's kind of fired up for this one, Williams. I think Williams has taken the view it's better to give than receive. Holmes in the past really has had a kind of simple strategy, keep the other fellow on the end of a left hand. But he's having a bit of job matching this fellow. Good round for Williams. And doesn't mind going after Holmes. Takes that corrective right hand shot there. There it is, the clubbing punch again. Complaining there, he's got caught with a thumb, I think, Williams. It's been known in the past for some of Holmes' opponents, but there'll be no mercy from the champion. Once he complains, he'll be in there. The referee took no notice. Shaking his head to Holmes, let them replay then.
Arms down. Get his arm
And it's the thumbing incident there. You see, he walks away from it, just gets caught with the left hand. He possibly got caught by that, but he made a bit of a show of it, and there's the cut. Into the fifth. He's got that well plastered over there, the injury, Williams. That just might take a little bit of ambition away from him. And Holmes waging the usual war of attrition. What a good fight this is. I really thought Holmes would overwhelm this fellow. I knew he had a decent amateur record, but certainly didn't think he was ready for the champion. Well, Holmes has been the head man of the division now for almost 7 years, and he's getting more problems than he bargained for with this fellow. Imagine that, 8-1 on, and at the moment it's not more than even money, and Williams having the temerity to shake his head. You're not hurting me, champ. Good stuff with Williams here. It's just as well that Holmes is one of the most durable heavyweight champions ever. Great powers of recovery. And the chance again, truth. Very awkward the way he paused with the left hand there, Williams. Just, you're wondering what he's going to do with it, apart from hit you on the nose, as he did there. See that he paws away there. It's a bit of a nuisance. That champions don't like fighters who do that, because he's got the reach to do it. It's difficult to counter him unless he leans forward. Holmes trying to set the target up the whole time, and that way he could lose a few points. Hard with the right hand as well, Williams. There it is again and again. And I tell you, this no-hoper is really giving Holmes all the trouble he can handle in this round. Back of the head complaining. He's overdoing the complaining a bit. He's got to learn to live with that in this standard of competition, in the truth. And again, you haven't hurt me. Touch of the alley. Really, Williams was piling in like a good man. He was barely missing Holmes. It isn't often you see the champion under fire like this, and it's put him ahead. Holmes trying to retaliate there, but he really was in trouble. So into round 9 then, and Williams maintaining a lot of pressure, and a lot of the pundits around the ringside have got him ahead, but it does sway a little bit, and certainly we've got to wait now to see if Holmes can come on strong at the finish, because that has always been his game. He's a great distance fighter. But you can tell by Holmes' fighting that he knows he's in a bit of trouble with this fellow. He's got to pull some points back. Question of being out of shape. This is his Holmes fighting weight. Perhaps having fought David Bay in March, he could have done with a longer rest and just put the old feet up for a while, but there you are. He's chasing the money and the record book. 19th defence of various championships, 20 if you count the one against Marvis Frazier, but that wasn't generally recognised. What a good fight this is turned out. Good stand-up boxing. So the little fella Mills Lane then having to make sure that he gets a bit efficient with him at times. And there's that almost piston-like left hand that keeps pumping in, but Holmes has come back a bit more in the 9th. There it is. A couple of chamalons there locked. getting the left hand working a bit better here, Holmes, seems to me. And he needs it. He's walking the wrong way for him. He's trying to get Williams to come on to the right hand, and he's walking away from it. It's a good round for Holmes, this one. It's just a little tiring, I would have thought. Williams still tries to shake his head, but I wouldn't think that trick's working any longer with Holmes. What a good fight back. Fast hands the challenger. He's not bad for 25, considering he didn't take up the game until he was 20. And he's getting $150,000 for this, and he's earning it the hard way, but win, lose or draw, he's going to be a hero, Williams. And this is now Holmes getting well on top in the ninth. It looked as though he'd taken that deep breath as he left the corner and thought, this has got to be it. This is about this time in a fight when he normally can stop a man. Can he do it now? He's running out of time in the ninth. Good round for Holmes. Pulled a lot of points back here, and that punch to the body really stopped Williams in his tracks and winded him there. Well, he's sitting on the stool as we watch the replay, and this is Holmes really clubbing with the right hand again, and he falls on the ropes, sort of leans on them like a gate. He wants a bit of help there, Williams. And now I think perhaps the distance is just catching up with him a bit now. Holmes' swollen left eye, very unusual sight, and anxious. 14th round then, and it isn't often you see the champion marked like that. And he's been on top now for the last 2 or 3 rounds, and he's really, for my part, brought the points very close indeed. And it really does depend on these last couple of rounds. And amazingly, Williams has hung in there with him the whole time. He's never fought this distance, remember. Reach of his certainly helps. He's got a wingspan from fingertip to fingertip of 85 inches. That's about 4 inches longer than Holmes. That's why he's been able to get through with the left. But when you think he hasn't really been in with anybody approaching Holmes's class, this is a tremendous performance. And the truth chance again. Trying to counter with the right hand still. He'll always try to do that, Holmes. The last thing they lose a bit of reflex, a bit of speed, but the last thing they lose is a punch, the heavyweight champions. Inevitably, the pace had to slow down a bit. So they are locked in engagement there, almost like the wrestling touch. And Mills Lane quite rightly saying you're both holding. And it still is anybody's fight, surely. 3 judges, the referee doesn't score. All American judges. Gets up on his toes well there. That's the smartest thing he can do, because if he thinks he's in the lead, Williams, getting on his bike's not a bad idea, because he knows Holmes will come to slug it out in the last rounds. Holmes definitely busted up and also feeling the pace. I'm not surprised at his age and the amount of tough fights he's had. He's paid for a string of hotels up in Pennsylvania, but he's always done it the hard way. Carl Williams has got a sore left ear by now, because he's really taken some around there. And his left eye is swollen. But he certainly absorbs a good punch. Another good shot there. May not be able to see that well, but the punches are getting through. Almost on the bell there, he had him. Just tottered a bit, and he needs the stool. So there's the face of a champion who's probably saying, hey, what's this all about? This kid wasn't supposed to be doing this to me. Ice packs needed. He's cut Williams.
Let him off the hook. Go on off the hook. You're a man of God. Let's go.
So into the 15th round, and they're complaining that he let him off the hook there. Well, we'll find out if anything can happen in the final round. No knockdown so far, then. Tremendously fit fighters. Holmes, I don't know how he keeps going with the amount of fights he's had. And I tell you, it's getting hard now climbing that road to Rocky Marciano's record. The Truth Williams trying to get up on his toes. Nothing. Well, the referee should caution him for that. Shouldn't turn your back on the opponent. Doesn't bother Holmes too much. The crowd standing there waving Holmes on a bit now. He's finally got the sympathy of the crowd, I think. They realise what a good champion he is. Holmes doesn't mind holding onto the ropes if he can. Bit of a catapult movement there. Inevitably, they've got to slow in the last round, but those punches have really been fierce all through. And particularly the left-hand boxing. Don't often see that with heavyweights. Well, I'm wondering now if the judges are sitting on the fences at all. May well be. If there's any sympathy going, they'll probably lean to the champion, but the crowd have been on the challenger's side. So midway then through the last round. And had it been 12 rounds, the WBC distance and also the European Union distance, I think probably Carl Williams could have won it. But it's depended really on how the judges have gone in the last three. What a storybook ending this would be for the Truth Williams, the total no-hoper. Trouble is that as far as the European heavyweight scene is concerned, the Americans have found yet another one who's going to give our lads a headache. So this little lightweight referee having to pull them apart, as you might expect, coming up for the last half minute. And a heavily padded ring now, obviously slowing them down a little bit. How are these judges now? How are the judges going to sort this one out? Holmes could do with just turning it on to catching the eyes if he can. Come on well in the late rounds though, Holmes. So Williams thinks he's won it anyway. The crowd seem to agree with that, or are they? Maybe they're going for Holmes. Holmes has seen all this before. I think he's a little bit concerned. Williams doesn't. He thinks he's won it all right. So much so that the manager-trainer manages to hoist him up. So here's the verdict then.
Ladies and gentlemen, from the Lawler Event Center here in Reno, Nevada, we have a unanimous decision.
That's surprising.
And the scoring by points as follows. Judge Paul Gibbs of Seattle, Washington, observed the fight 146-139. Judge Jerry Ross of Las Vegas has it 143-142.
That's a close one.
And Judge Al Rothenberg of Virginia Beach, Virginia, scores it 146-139.
Big margin.
For the winner. And still.
Yes, Holmes has got it. I disagree with the margin of two of those judges. 143-142 was just about right. But Holmes had to fight from behind and did it well, but this fellow came out with a lot of credit. And he certainly needs the eye taken care of there. And here's Ferdy Pacheco then talking to both champion and challenger.
Champ, you can't have a tougher night than that.
Well, Freddie, These young guys are really game. This guy here is big. Got a hard left jab. He's very game.
You seem to have pulled it out in the last 4 rounds by your concerted attack in your champion's heart.
Well, that's what championship is all about. A champion is to fight until no more bells. And I did that. The young man was strong. He's going to give a lot of fights, a lot of trouble if he cleans up his act.
Do you still think that you want to go for Marciano's record, or is a night like this going to make you do some serious thinking?
Well, every fight you do serious thinking, but we always take one step at a time. Right now, I'm going to heal my eyes, go home with my family, not take any more crash programs, and just wait and see what happens.
I am the uncrowned king and the young heir to the throne, and I'm the baddest heavyweight in all the land. Yes, I am.
How do you figure the decision?
It was close. I think the least I could have got was a draw.
Well, what a really tough fight for Larry Holmes. Sad to see him taking so much punishment, but I feel that a couple of $1 million or so might just ease the pain. We have more boxing, though, on next Tuesday's Midweek Sports Special. We again have World Cup action as well. That's Scott.